My girlfriend played with my feelings and later blamed it on her periods. I broke up with her. Did I go too far? My ex and I have separated. It's weird to say because I'm still confused about everything, but it's as simple as the title says. A week ago, we were at my place when something just changed in her demeanor. She walked over and simply states, "I'm leaving." I was confused and asked what she meant, and she said something along the lines of me knowing why. I'm confused because a minute ago we were just happy watching shows and bullshitting. Upon further pressing, she says that it just seems like the right thing or something. I get flustered and ask what is wrong. And she sits there silently staring at her phone and only speaking to give me updates about when a rider will arrive. I just stop pressing and sit down and just wait because I can't even explain this. I'm not going to yell, scream, or cry. I've just felt the same burning hot feeling and difficulty breathing in my chest when my dog died. Like this was it, and I have nothing to understand why it's happening. All of a sudden, she puts down the phone and exclaims that she changed her mind. I asked what that was about, and she giggled almost playfully and said she just wanted to edge a breakup. She gives me her answer and I just end things there. She immediately regrets it, asking me to reconsider. The thing is, this happened before early in our relationship, and she explained she has an impulsive habit of things. I've only seen this once, and it was when she ghosted me after just starting to date her. Maybe in her defense she was on her period and was experiencing mood swings, but I sent her home and haven't spoken to her in a week until now to get my stuff. Am I going too far? She seemed distraught and hurt, and genuinely meant not to have wanted that. I want her back so badly, but I don't know if I can trust her yet. It's making me sick and I miss them so much. Am I wrong? Can there be something salvaged? I know she genuinely loves me, but I'm scared that I'm just being abused. Update. This blew up more than I expected, and I will be providing an update on a lot of things to answer questions and clarify what's been asked in the comments. It's still so fresh and I'm experiencing a ton of emotions. I might make a separate post for a larger update to answer more questions. I spoke with her after picking up my things to figure out what was going on, and I'm still at a loss to interpret her actions. Relevant comments. On her period? What kind of bullshit is that? Opie. That honestly was her excuse. She tried to justify the breakup over that. But you are absolutely right thinking it's misogynistic, because it is. I guess I just needed perspectives, but I thought it was ridiculous she was blaming her period. But I'm not a woman with periods, so I just couldn't tell if it was in the realm of possibility. Comment. What was the punchline of this joke even supposed to be? Opie. I don't think there was a joke. The giggle seemed more of a nervous laugh, but it was just mind-boggling. I felt like I was watching a mask slip off. It was the same feeling of watching someone die and not being able to do anything about it. Just fucking helpless. Comment. Edging? Opie. Edging. Denying ejaculation to increase its intensity, but edging the breakup was her own words. Comment. Not sure what you've been through, but your partner is not supposed to cause you pain. Opie. It's kinda why I posted here. I grew up with an abusive parent and I literally just cut and went and see with them. I still struggle to know when I'm being toyed with, so I just need perspective. It just feels so shattering to look at someone and see them look at you in the way she did. Like I was an item on display to be toyed with, like she was getting a really petty revenge somehow. Update. Hey everyone. I guess this is how it is going to have to go. I haven't been sleeping, so I will try my best to make it make sense. I've come to present you with an update. This will be an attempt to explain and answer some questions from my last post, but mostly as a catharsis. I guess these are further consequences of that night. I ended up seeing her to pick up stuff and exchange items. She sent me a text to talk, asking if our time apart was enough to reflect on the relationship. She continued to explain that she deserved some type of closure, and that if she doesn't hear from me, we should go our separate ways. We had a short talk on the phone, and I told her my trust was completely broken. At the time, I was on the fence of breaking it off. I returned home to grab some of her clothes to exchange. I tried to call some friends since I was in tears and had a huge ache in my stomach, but no one was answering, so I just pushed through it and met up. The initial exchange was awkward, and she just thrust a bag of my clothes toward me and grabs her stuff and abruptly walks off. I called her and asked if she even wanted to talk at all, and she admitted it was kind of rude. We were both sad and teary-eyed, and I could tell she really was hurting. She sits in the passenger's seat for a minute, and she asks if there is any chance we can be together again. At this point, we are both crying. She told me she talked to a friend and sibling, and they both told her she deserved it. She has done the same thing to them. She points out all the time we've spent together, 6 really good months, and asks if it means nothing. It did mean everything to me. I sit there for a moment crying and just say that it can't be fixed. I tell her if that I take her back, I'd be enabling that behavior. That if we are ever to reconcile, this will have to happen. Otherwise, the relationship will continue on a toxic slope, doomed to end horribly. She awkwardly asks if I really think she would do it again, and then admits she realizes she doesn't have much ground to stand on with that comment. I'm sad. I still love her, and I'm devastated to have her leave my life. She truly didn't want to hurt me, but as I've explained earlier in a comment, I was primed by a parent for that kind of manipulation. If I were in a stronger place, I would have taken her back. But I have a dying uncle to care for, and it's been a few years since I was hospitalized for trying to depart from this plane of existence and self-harm. I still struggle with severe depression and insomnia. It was truly for my own sanity that I had to leave, because I am already in a place where I struggle to trust and interpret what people say and do. We told each other that we love each other one last time, and that was it. I drove home and didn't really sleep. The week after. For the past week, I've been very depressed. I haven't slept a few nights, and a lot of them have to do with the emotions welling up from living with my mother. The night my girlfriend tried to edge a breakup, there was a point when she got in the car and told me he hates men. I get it, I hate men, but she is crying and I am scared something happened to her. Nothing was wrong. She was upset about comments directed at her Instagram and how she looked, feeling like an object. The comment about hating men kept flashing back. And now I don't know if what she did had any correlation with her behavior. What hurt me the most was the memories it brought back. And I always remembered my mom saying to me, my brother and my father. My mother would hit and scream and terrorize my father. She went after him with a knife once before, and then tried to slash his tires another. They would be constantly fighting and filling the house with anxiety. I would be too wired to sleep properly. They were two drug addicts who found each other and decided to have my brother and I. One day he left, and then she continued turning her anger at me and my brother. Her moods were always unpredictable. She got involved with a heroin addict that she met in Alcoholics Anonymous who not only used the house as a place to 13th-step my mother, but also to shoot up and sell drugs. Her moods continued to be erratic. She eventually broke up with him, doing the same things as she did to my father but with a whole new layer of insanity directed at us. I could only ever remember my mother as malicious and unpredictable. She would lock me out of the house on cold nights, and would call the cops and make up lies to get them to bully me and harass me or throw me out of the house that we rented even though I was paying for it. They never could, but they did go on during the talks, and she would do it where it would disrupt either my work or sleep schedule. Right now it sounds so insane to simply say I put up with it because that is absolutely true. I was so used to the abuse and gaslighting. I was so used to everything being so bats hit shit insane. I was just trying to do the right thing while being told I was doing everything wrong. I was bullied at home to go to school and get bullied there. I have issues interacting with people because of it. I'm maladaptive and antisocial. When I meet someone who is interested in me, I get attached, even if they treat me like shit. It just feels like everyone else was given a different set of directions to life. I don't know when someone is being kind, condescending, or wants something from me. I take everything personally or not personally enough. I have no sense of achievement, and I consistently just feel like a ghost. All these feelings, thoughts and memories from where I lived and what I grew up were flashing in front of my eyes and I couldn't see anything around me. It was like I was stuck in a movie and my heart was racing. When my ex smiled at me like my mother did when she knew she was fucking with my head, my stomach fell out of my ass. Recovering? I'm still trying to get a therapist and a psychiatrist. I always have been. I've been burnt and I can't seem to fix myself. I envy everyone and how they can so easily take to therapy and medication and I cannot. I literally feel like a failure at recovering and getting my shit together. I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was 5, and later MDD when I was 12. I have been having small breakdowns and flashbacks throughout the week. I tried going to the club last night with friends, but I got too drunk and sad and was let out. I wasn't sloppy or disruptive or anything, but they just cut me off. My friends came out looking for me and found me crying on the side of the street and they called me an Uber. I felt so embarrassed for them to have me in their company. I wished they just ignored me and forgot about me, because I had every intention of wandering off into the roads and disappearing forever. I have friends, but I don't feel it. I want their affection so badly and I simply can't feel it. Not the love from my aunt or uncle, my brother or them. I know they care, but I just can't feel it. When they try to show it to me, I feel angry and frustrated. When my friends came to call me an Uber, I was crying even harder because in my insane state I could not even fathom that they actually gave a shit about me. I was pissed they left the club and came looking for me. If anyone knows how I can deal with this or what steps I should start taking, I would appreciate it. I think something is going on in my head that is very atypical. My mind has been so foggy and racing and I've been slurring my words from lack of sleep. I struggle talking and performing at work. There are times where my ears ring and it feels like they will pop and it feels like my head is going to explode. I often find myself trying to hide from coworkers so somebody doesn't see me in pain or crying. I don't want to go to the hospital because I don't want to be away from my uncle so I can help care for him. I can't spend the money on it, and I don't necessarily believe it will make me better or safer. I know there is support, but I'm failing to find the strength to get it. It just seems so insurmountable. That's my update. I don't have anything rose-colored or shiny to share. If anyone could possibly point me toward resources or steps to deal with what I have, that would be great. I could use all the help I can get right now. Relevant comments. If you're ever looking for support ASAP in a moment of crises, reach out to Second Floor. It's a website and a texting service. They connect you with a therapist you can text or call. It's completely anonymous and may help you till you find long-term care. Opie, thank you so much. This is a total game changer knowing these things exist. I've called the hotlines before and you end up getting bored teenagers and it's always unproductive. I'd give you gold and absolve you of ads if I could. Is there similar programs that are not just restricted to New Jersey and for adults?